All right. Page 66 is review, so we're going to skip past that. Page 67 is the sinus skull. We only have one sinus skull at St. Paul College, and it's here in this lab. You won't be able to look at this on in the science study room. But sinuses are openings in the skull that help, that is where mucus is created, and also it lightens the skull and it helps kind of resonate speech. When I listen to this video, my voice is going to sound different to me to hear it on a video than my voice sounds inside my head. And part of that is because when I'm talking, there's sort of a resonance inside my head inside these sinuses. So they're little openings, and I'll pull the sinus skull here so you can see that these are actually something we can actually kind of put an indentation into. So there's one, this is the anterior part of the skull. There's one here in the frontal bone, and that is called the frontal sinus. Then we have one that has a lot of openings in the middle inside the ethmoid bone called the ethmoid sinus. And then finally, kind of deeper into the sinus, we have inside the sphenoidal bone called the sphenoidal sinus. Sorry, the bone is called the sphenoid bone, but this is called the sphenoidal sinus. And then we can see deeper here, there's also one that's in your maxilla called the maxillary sinus. So let's just review those one more time. Frontal sinus, this one with multiple kind of openings in the middle is the ethmoidal sinus. This bigger one that's deeper into the skull is the sphenoidal sinus. And then there's one that's more, remember mustache maxilla, that's what that bone is. So there's an opening in the maxillary sinus. And you can see if you had a sinus infection, that this would be all inflamed. There would be a lot of pressure there, and you might have a massive headache. All right, then we have some structures that we haven't learned yet inside the sinus, the nasal cavity. So this is the side, it's actually the left side of the nasal cavity. These are really simple for my students to learn. This is the only view we can get of all three on the models that we have. So these are called nasal concha, and they each have a name. The superior, this one's closest to the top, the middle, and the inferior nasal concha. I'm going to show you those on the sinus skull here. So let me open this up so you can have a good viewpoint of it.